Well, thank you, and thank you to the Centers for National Interest for having us and for this discussion. And I think there are a lot of aspects of foreign policy where right and left can come together and where party doesn't make so much difference. There's been a bipartisan consensus on foreign policy in this town for a long time. Unfortunately, I think the bipartisan consensus may now be wrong, and there needs to be another bipartisan consensus talking in another fashion. But I'm excited that this week Senator Murphy and I and Senator Franken and Senator Lee will introduce legislation, and it's a privileged resolution. And this is very unusual in the Senate in the sense that it will be voted on. It has to be voted on within a period of time. So the plan now is it'll be introduced on Wednesday and it'll be voted on Wednesday. This almost never happens. So a privileged resolution is extraordinary in Congress. The power to do this was given to us by the Arms Export Control Act of 1976. But this resolution will say to the President that we disapprove of the sale of arms to Saudi Arabia. Now, your next question might be, what will he do? He could veto it. The House could sit on it. There are a lot of things that may happen. But I think it elevates the debate, and it allows Congress to be part of this decision. Now, some might ask, why would Congress have anything to do with foreign policy? Isn't foreign policy the bailiwick of the chief magistrate, of the President? Well, according to our founding fathers, it was intended to be our bailiwick. The initiation of war was specifically taken away from the presidency and given to Congress. And if you look at Madison's words discussing this, Madison said that the branch most prone to war is the executive branch. Therefore, with studied care, the Constitution took that power and vested it in the legislature. But we've gotten away from that. You might also ask, how can arms sale be anything to do with initiation of war? It's just sale of arms to an ally. In this case, there is a war going on in Yemen. We are refueling the planes that are dropping the bombs. We are giving the targets, and we have people positioned there helping to guide the missiles into their targets. So I think we are actively part of a war in Yemen, and I think almost no American knows that we're involved with it. That initiation of war we can debate the pros and cons of whether we should do it. We can debate whether it's in our vital national interest, but we can't just simply have no debate. So I think it's absolutely important, and I think it's a big deal that we are bringing this forward. This and other issues have brought Senator Murphy and I together. Also the discussion of whether or not, when we go to war, that Congress should authorize it. So the authorization of use of military force, there were two in the last 15 years, one to go after the people who attacked us on 9/11, and that's simply what it said, and then the other for the Iraq War. Neither of those apply to Yemen. Neither of those, frankly, apply to Syria. They need to be debated. So about 2 years ago in the Foreign Relations Committee, they were discussing a water bill, and I insisted on an amendment to authorize force, the use of force in the Middle East, and to debate that. And we had a pretty good debate without a conclusion, but we began the debate. Unfortunately, it didn't go to Congress. Congress points their fingers. Republicans say Democrats should do it. Democrats say Republicans should do it, and it languishes, and yet we are at war without a debate. When you talk to our soldiers who fight in the wars, every one of them that I encountered, lots in Fort Campbell, lots in Fort Knox, saw kids the other day from the Naval Academy, every one of them says they want the people to have debated this. In fact, there is an American soldier right now in court suing over whether or not it's a constitutional war, a valid order for a war, since Congress has not authorized the war. I don't think these are arcane points. I don't think they're moot points. I think it's incredibly important that Congress be part of foreign policy. It's what our founding fathers intended. And I think this debate this week over whether or not we send arms into Saudi Arabia is an important and valid one. I'm very excited to have Senator Murphy being a partner in this. And with that,
we will make America great again.